in the big like Marvel movies and The Dark Knight Rises, you know, and they take the evil villain and they have to transport him, there's typically some big plan, some plot to interrupt the transport vehicle and free the prisoner so he can go on to conquer the world.
Absolutely.
That's what I thought of when I saw this headline from Lake Expo. A prisoner transport vehicle locally crashes with injuries.
Yeah, apparently. So 7 people in the prisoner transport were injured in the crash on Highway 63. Where's Highway 63? I don't even know where that is.
Buffalo, I
Oh, that's in
believe.
the Buffalo area. Okay.
Yeah, Buffalo area.
So the Chevrolet Express van driven by Jeremy Falk, who is 29, northbound on Highway 63, it reportedly hit the towed unit of a 2019 Peterbilt 357 power unit, right? So this is pretty serious crash that's going on
So he's saying
here.
it like hit the back of a diesel trailer?
Kind of sounds like it, yeah. So this happens at about 1:20 in the afternoon on December the 12th. And so apparently the truck was on Highway 124, began crossing Highway 63 when they crashed into each other. Kintz was injured in the crash, drove his vehicle. He's the driver of the big truck, I think. Drove his truck from the scene. And so it talks about the 7 prisoners who were injured in this. The truck driver, minor injuries. One of the prisoners, 34-year-old, moderate injuries, minor injuries, moderate. So no serious injuries here, but interesting. It kind of brings to mind those. It's like, what was the movie I saw growing up with Harrison Ford, and he was on a transport, you know, they got hit by a train and he's running, you know, and stuff like that. But it is kind of from the movies, right?
Yeah, and luckily, you know, it didn't say if they were all prisoners. I did notice that 5 had no safety devices, and so I would assume, which you know what assuming does most of the time, that those were the 5 that would be prisoners, and maybe the 5th or the 6th and 7th would have been working or on staff. Just interesting, and the guy who was driving crashed, and I don't know how bad the crash was. We didn't get any pictures or anything of the transport vehicle. But what an interesting headline.
And it happens in the afternoon. Usually these things happen in the dark, at night, you know, like, remember the who was it, the sheriff deputy that apparently was inebriated and had the crash? That was about a year ago now, and stuff, middle of the night. This is right in the middle of the day.
Right, which I would think would be smart. I'd be afraid if that was your job to transport at night, like that's when it's going to go down, right? That's when the plot thickens.
Yeah, that's when the movie gets real scary.